Hey guys, welcome back to the General's Workshop. Super excited to have you here today. Going to try to do just a quick video. The scope of this is going to look at developing a jig for when you're doing ladder treads. And for those of you that have watched my previous video where we went and we did this ladder build for my Tote tower, you'll notice that I actually hogged out most of that dado joint by using my circular saw, or if you will, my chop saw. I've got a new technique that I just want to show you that's super quick. And guys, let's be honest, when you're thinking about how to join the ladder from where the tread is to the rail, I've seen a lot of different approaches. You could just do a simple butt joint with a little support underneath it. I just like to create a dado that's gonna allow me to fit the tread inside of it. But the challenge comes is, how do you hog that out? Now, of course, you could do like I did in the previous video where you can just hog it out with a circular saw, or you can look at doing a designing a jig that looks like this. Super easy. This is nothing more than just some scrap wood that I had lying around. But again, this is gonna allow us to put it down on top, create kind of your edging. Now, the really only thing that you need to make sure that you have is obviously gonna be some sort of a router and or a bit like this. This is actually a top loading, and this is actually for mortise, hinging, dados. This gives me, I believe it's 5/16. Yeah, 5/16. And that's, again, this is a 1/4 inch shank that goes on this. And again, really all that we're looking at is putting something that we can scrap down and then actually carve out that groove, which allows us then to have our tread fit inside of there nice and snug, okay? So from that perspective, let me show you how to do this. Now, in order to create this component right here, we're gonna need to do the bottom, right? So what I'm gonna do to make it a little bit more easy to see is I'm gonna use a smaller piece, but it's gonna be the same on the larger piece. So again, what we're looking at forming is our bottom part. So for right now, we're gonna do a 15-degree angle, and obviously I'm gonna be utilizing this to get that. Again, I'm not gonna, for the sake of this video, I'm not gonna be going over how I've used this. If you wanna check that out, again, just check out that other video. That'll go over all of those logistics. Now, OSHA regulations is 12 inches between stair treads. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mark this off from the bottom at 12, okay? Now, I'm gonna take this again, I'm gonna figure out that tread at that 15-degree angle, which is right there, okay? And then once you have your actual treads, there's a few different things you can do. You can obviously put that in there. I'm showing you the slow method, right? So we're going here, whoop, marking a line. That moved on me. So anyways, you know what I'm saying. Now we'd have to go over to chop saw, we'd have to hog that out, but let me show the alternative. Once you have this jig set up, and in just a moment I'll show you just real briefly how to make this said jig. You're gonna come in here, right? It's got the spine on the back that you're gonna butt up. You're gonna mark one line up with the bottom, you're gonna clamp it on, and then router that joint out. It is so slick and so fast. So now, with that being said, what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna grab the larger piece like this, okay? One thing I would offer you to consider is the distance. Notice I've got my opposite tread set up close to the center so that I have plenty of room to clamp on the outsides without getting in the way of my router and the plate, if you will, okay? So from that perspective, I would at least go 15 at the least as far as this distance. So that way I could do roughly a 7.5 inch tread this way, which will cover me if I do a 2x8 or smaller, right? And then also for the back on this one, I did a 3/4 inch, but if you're gonna be doing this on anything smaller than that, I would use like a 1/2 inch. Again, either one is gonna work just fine. So what I'm gonna do with this right here is towards the center. I'm gonna do just like I did on this piece, on this board. I'm gonna mark my line. Now again, keep in mind, a lot of this is going to depend upon the thickness, if you will, the thickness of the tread that you're making. So you gotta make sure that you're having that be your marker, okay? Now, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna line this up with that line, hold it down. I'm gonna mark the other side. I'm gonna come back here. I'm just gonna double check everything for that distance. Mark it out at that 15. Yeah, and that's perfect. Okay, so really at this point, I just need to make sure that my distance is greater than 5.5 which of course it is right there. So I'm gonna cut this out on the chop saw. Now, one of the things you're noticing is my saw is already set up to 15 degrees, but I'm gonna bring it the opposite way, and it's got an auto lock or an auto stop at that 15 degrees, okay? All right, so now at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of give myself a straight line, and I'm gonna actually go, well, I'm gonna try to do 5.5. There, and that just kind of scribes that line for me, so now I know when I'm cutting it, I wanna take that line down with my jigsaw. I'll come in here, I'll clean that up, because obviously it's curved towards the back, so I'll go straight to this line, and then curve in and take that out. So let's get that going. All right, so you can kind of see now, you can kind of start to see that carve out that I'm going to actually be using. So to a large extent, what we're trying to accomplish now is we're going to get this on there. All right, and I'm just going to line this up just like this. So I'm lining obviously this with my mark, my accurate mark there. I'm also kind of aligning this with the front edge. Okay, now at this point, oh, I thought that was my marker. It's my mic. Give me 1 second. All right, so let's line that up again with that front edge, just like that. Nice and flush, nice and flush. Now I'm going to take my back part, and I'm just going to scribe a line on the underside. Okay. So now you can kind of see here that straight line, and I'm going to now take this piece and super glue it right along that line right there. Okay. And now I would flip it, do it the same thing on this other side, but it's the same process as this. Just make sure it's a mirror opposite of it, right? So that tread will go up. Let me go ahead and super glue this on, and then I'll hog one out for you. Now, of course, you could use metal fasteners, but I think this is just one of the areas where.
They say hindsight is 20/20, but no one warns you about how blurry regret looks through your tears. Let this be a lesson to all those who come after me. Clean the tip.
Oh, you're following me. I promise. I did eat breakfast.
This tragic tale has been brought to you from the memoirs of a beginning woodworker.
Holy
the story
smokes.
of ambition, oversight, and permanently sealed glue tops.
All right, guys. So this is one of the ways where super glue and catalyst, in my opinion, work amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and drizzle on a line because I want this to stay. Got to remember to wipe that off before I get that. Now I'm going to actually do the catalyst on my line where I want it to adhere. And then I'm simply going to put this down, lining up those marks. Once I've got it, I'm going to be careful as I'm pressing down. Just because sometimes if you've got the thickness and it needs to spread, it'll actually move the piece on you. So with that being said, I'm just going to hold it. And again, that catalyst and that super glue is already reacted, and it's at a point where you could start using your piece right away. You don't have to wait. Again, this stuff is amazing. If you haven't used it, because I remember back when I was new to woodworking, and I remember everyone kept talking about super glue and all, and I just wasn't comfortable. And again, it's amazing how much stuff we actually fear just because we're not familiar with it. Once you become familiar with it, you're like, how did I get along without it? Okay, let's move on. So now I've got that, right? So you can see here, I'm simply going to line this up over top, and then all I have to do is I'm just going to clamp it down. And I'm not only clamping this jig to the 2x6, but I am also clamping it to the table. So when I move it or push it, it does not move on me. Not ideal, but... All right, guys, I want to just show you this really quick before I move on. You can see here how that just follows the same pattern as the jig that we cut, and that's just going to allow you. Now, of course, obviously, I want to hog out this center as well. And once I do that, I just unclamp this and move it down. So let's finish hogging that center out. Man, that is flat, that is clean. So in a sense, all that you would do now is you would just keep moving this board down to create, and then before you know it, you'll end up with a piece that's just like this. All right, you've got the bottom cut at that 15 degrees. You've got each of these dados that are present and available to receive the tread. And again, that's going to give you just a tighter joint for sure. Let's take you over here and give it to you in application, and let me show you what I'm referring to. So I've already got one piece cut. Again, guys, this is for that indoor tree house that I'm actually building. But you can see the tread that's going to go up here. And again, we've got that 15-degree angle at the bottom coming up. You've got 12 inches. Now, keep in mind, OSHA regulation is going to be the distance from the bottom to the step. The top of the step is going to no more than 12 inches, 12 inches, 12 inches, and so forth, all the way up. But you can see these dado cuts that are recessed in are going to give me such a cleaner and a stronger ladder. This jig is a real time saver. If you've got some moderate level of experience, you can knock this out in about 5 to 10 minutes. But if you're newer to this, plan on around 30 minutes. It's still a quick build. And the time you invest now will save you so much time later. No more marking every single stair tread one by one. And if you're looking for a deeper dive into building a ladder like this, be sure to check out my video right here. I'll walk you through the full process step by step.